Hi everyone, this is Lada from Astrolada.com, and today I'm here with psychic medium Bobbi and life coach. So hi Bobbi, a powerful, beautiful woman. She's Aries Sun, Aquarius rising, strong energy, strong masculine energy, which empowers women. As we said, 2018 is about empowering women. Hi Bobbi.
Hi Lada, how are you today?
Great, very excited to be with you. The energy between us always flows fantastic. You uplift people. Last time we had an interview together, everyone was like, we want Bobbi back because all the interesting topics you're talking about and all the positive slant you gave it.
Absolutely. And I'm going to do that again this time round as well. So we're going to have a really interesting conversation. So there's two main things that I want to concentrate on. The first is just we're going to do sort of an ad-lib thing. I used to work sometimes a lot actually in film, and sometimes we did ad-lib scenes where we just, sort of talked. We had specific things we were talking about, but we just got into whatever we got into, and that's sort of how I am. So we're going to start, I think, with, I just want to talk about the energy of 2018, which...
Yes, let's start with that.
Okay, I knew you would love that. So we're going to start with that, and then we're going to go into health after that. But first, we're going to start with 2018. So 2018 is going to be a very powerful year of change and transformation, and we're headed into a new level of sort of light and authenticity for all of us, because the universe is unfolding into a much higher octave. So the energy of the universe and the energy of the earth is going into a much higher octave this year. And that's going to affect everybody collectively, all of us. So what's going to happen is it's going to help us to transform our thoughts and our words and our actions. And we're going to become more of who we are and less self-defeating, because we have, as human beings, we self-defeat ourselves so much. And this year, we're going into higher ways of thinking. And that's because the universal consciousness is changing. So there's going to be a lot of transformation. And there's going to be a lot of, the energy and the vibration of the earth. Like, you're an astrologer. You're an amazing astrologer. So you talk about astrology and the planets and the eclipses and all things to do with astrology. I'm a psychic. I'm a reader. I help people to find out what they need to know about whatever, their business, their family, their love life, whatever. I also uplift them, and I, give them advice and consultation. But you see, along with that, there's also energy and vibration. We work on energy and vibration. Like, you and I have an amazing energy together. Right from the start, we always were we just connected. And sometimes people's energies aren't as good. And that's because it's just their energy. But the world energy, the vibration of this coming year is a much softer energy in 2018 than it was in 2017, because 2017 was male. It was number one. So it was dominant energy, and there was all this, fighting and all kinds of political crap. And it even, affected all of our lives in so many ways. People were really in a lot of stress and a lot of that, which is going to now...
combative energy.
Combative
push.
Exactly. Push. And now it's going to be the opposite. It's going to be feminine energy, right? It's going to be more feminine. So it's going to be softer, and it's going to be much more relaxed. And as a result of that kind of vibration, which people are going to feel as the year unfolds, that's a good word, unfolds, we are going to unfold. So we're going to be able to be much more of who we are. And so we're going to be able to reflect, and we're going to be able to sort of think about our purpose more, of what we want to be in the world, sort of concentrate more on our dharma. Because when you're in a state of constant revolution, you can't really think clearly or properly. Whereas this year, we're going to have that opportunity because of the higher vibration. Because what's going to happen is the angelic realm and the realm of divinity, the divine, is going to become much stronger. And everybody collectively is going to feel that. People are going to feel that divine energy. So you're going to feel better. You're going to feel better about yourself. All of us. We're going to feel more secure in our lives. And the heavy limitations that we place on ourselves are going to sort of not wash away. I mean, we're human beings. Of course, we have our problems. But it's not going to be as intense as it was last year. It's going to be better. It's going to be more. It's going to be, we're going to be able to manifest our goals and be more successful in a softer way, and in a way that's sort of like,
without having to fight always for it. And the female magnetically attracts it, the female energy.
Exactly. And it's also going to be the kind of thing where you do something, and then after you do something, you realize, hey, I just did that. Wow, that's amazing. Look at that. Like so what I'm trying to say is in a much softer, quieter way, where we don't even realize how much we're doing, if you will. If you
I hope I pop out the baby like that. Oh, I just popped the baby. Last year with the male energy, I thought I was dying and being torn.
You know what?
Absolutely, yeah. And the year started off with this huge, on the 1st of January, super full moon in Cancer, which is the most feminine sign of the matriarch, the mom, the nurturer. And as I said, it's number 2. And the most important planets throughout 2018, according to astrology, I'm just quickly giving the astrological
perspective. Great. Yes, of course.
Are in female signs. The socio-economic planets that decide the political, socio-economic, cultural energy of the year, Jupiter and Saturn, are in female signs, but the strongest female signs, Capricorn and Scorpio. So it's gentler energy, but it's gentler energy that also allows you to, Capricorn builds, and Scorpio is a warrior, female warrior, and Capricorn is a female old wise crone that builds and that disciplines and that gives fair. And Scorpios has the power to say, I will not. Scorpio is the power of I want. Well, but Aries, the Mars sign, is the sign of I will. Yeah. Women are standing up and they're saying, I will not. And, right. And with Capricorn, they're saying, I will build this and I will manifest this. And yesterday, I don't know if you watched the globes, but
are you kidding me? Oh, from A to every moment. I watched every single piece of that. And it was
parade of female power, wasn't it?
Female power. Well, the other thing too is I remember I was listening to all of your astrological everything. And if I recall, you said that Scorpio has now gone into the planet Jupiter for the year. So Scorpios are going to do very well. So you said that, you know, Jupiter, of course, is the planet of expansion and good fortune and good luck and all of that. So I would say that, you know, anybody with a water sign, like we're Aries, I'm Aries Pisces, I'm sort of cusp, and you're going to have I'm pretty sure you're going to have a cusp baby.
Seems like it.
So I have a feeling that your birth is going to be really lovely. It's going to be much more subtle than the last birth, because I don't know why. It's just my feeling. I just have
thank you.
My energy of you. I feel it's going to be a softer, easier, better birth altogether, all around.
I was traumatized last year.
Traumatized this year. You're not. No, it's going to be different. It's going to be completely different.
Well, yeah. Also, looking at the transits around that time, they're so much better for easier.
But the other thing too is that it's a whole different ballgame altogether. First of all, it's a different sex. Second of all, it's a different time frame, because you had your last baby in the fall, winter, whereas now you're going to have this baby.
No, it was in April. It was in April, last baby. Yeah.
Oh, your last baby.
Aries.
Oh, I thought Scorpio. Oh, maybe it's Scorpio ascendant and
Scorpio ascendant and moon. So he has.
Okay, your baby is Aries. My goodness, lots of Aries. So might be Aries again as well, but not. What was your baby's birthday? April.
Which
April
one?
What?
April 12th was the boy. The girl, they say around 20th of March. So
okay, so 20th of March is sort of cusp. So
I'm hoping Pisces, honestly, for once.
Yeah, that would be nice. Well,
the softer female energy of this year.
Actually, God-given. It's God-given, but I really do believe the birth is going to be very smooth and much, much easier than last time, because of, like you said, everything, all the planets, all the transits, the energy of the year, the femininity of 2018, the moon. It signifies also the moon, which is woman, which is female, rather than the sun, which is male, which is masculine. So we're going to really take our power this year. We're really going to stand up for ourselves, and we're going to follow our hearts. You see, that's another thing. Instead of our minds, which we're constantly thinking, this is a year where we're going to be sort of just, we're just going to be very, very nicely, easily directed to follow our hearts and to follow our sort of our hearts and our souls more without even realizing it, which is so nice, from the guides and from the angels and from just the feminine energy of the year and from the vibrations of the year. It's just going to be a much softer year all around. So that's so good. And also, I'm saying that, you know, if people have a calling, like if people have a calling to do something, sometimes we hold back and we don't do these things. But this is a very important year to do that. Like, say you want to paint, say you've never painted and you want to do a painting. That's something that you can contribute to somebody. That's something that you can make into something beautiful. And then, you know, somebody could look at it and really be inspired by it and say, wow, that's really nice. Do more of that. And that also inspires the person doing it to do more creative work, because this is also a year of creativity. It's a year of, you know, transformational creativity versus things to do always with the mind and the mind and the mind. Do you understand?
I would say, like, instead of being business oriented, now it's more like fulfilling our emotional needs here, and a year of appreciation, because this is the female energy. And as you said, it's creative, because female is the creative source.
Creative, new energy. Yeah. Very, very new. And as the year unfolds, we are going to unfold, and we are going to feel that energy much, much more. This is, you know, what I'm saying. Now, I also want to talk about health, because we all have issues. We all have health issues. We all have things that happen to us, some of us much more critical than others. But it's so important how we regard and how we focus on our health in a positive way. So, you know, the last time we spoke, I spoke about, I had a very bad brain injury a year and a half ago, which we spoke about. And after that accident, I was so sick. I had such bad headaches and dizziness. And in order to heal the brain.
Did you hit your head or something?
Yes, I was with my best friend, and we were having breakfast in this little cafe, and the bathroom was very tiny. And you know how women are, after you catch up and say all your stuff, you know, you go into the bathroom, you do your little thing, you wash your hands, and you put your lipstick on, and you're ready to go. So I was at the door, and I was just about to open the door. And a waitress from the restaurant, she was very angry. She was in a terrible mood, and she bashed the door open, and she furiously bashed the door into my head. The metal door went smashing into my brain.
That's like Aries injury. Aries rules the head, and your Aries sun, so we always bump our heads. And
yes. And you know what? I'm not a hypochondriac type, so I just figured, I bumped my head. I didn't think much of it. And also, when you have a concussion, the symptoms come much later. Mm-hmm. So I was so lucky, because I was with my friend, and she said, you know, are you okay? And I said, yeah, I'm fine. And I really was not fine. And I went home, I drove home, and I went to sleep, which is the worst thing you can do with a concussion, but I didn't know I had one. But I left my glasses. I have glasses to drive, and I left, and to watch TV, and I left them in the car. We live high up in a building on a high floor. So I had to go down to the garage, get my glasses, and there's a doctor that lives next door. And he was going up the elevator with me, and he asked me how I'm doing, and I told him what happened, and he said, you know, Bobbi, I want to check you out. I want you to come to my house and let me check you. He said, you have to go now to the hospital. You may have a brain bleed. I think you have a massive concussion, and you have to go. I said, come on, really? He said, yeah. I said, okay. As bad as I felt, I still didn't believe it could be that bad. And I went to the hospital, and sure enough, with the the CAT scans and the MRIs, the neurologist said, not only do you have a concussion, but it's massive. It's very bad. You have to shut down for 6 months. You have to just shut down. So in so doing, I was so sick, but in my sickness, I kept saying, My brain is beautiful. My brain is healing. My brain is love. I love my brain. I love my body. My body's healing. And this is what I'm really passionate about. I think people really need to do this. I know that maybe it can't cure cancer, but it can help a person's feeling, and it can help a person's way of thinking. It really does help health when you look at it in a focused, positive way, and you love your whatever. You love your cancer, or you love your broken foot.
Because whatever you resist, it persists. Whatever you fight, you give it more power even.
That's correct. And where there's an expression, where your energy goes is where things result in better positivity. So if you're going to put good energy into whatever it is that's bad, it's still going to help a great deal. Mm-hmm. So it's so important to sort of, whatever your illness is, it's so important to love it. It's so important to embrace it. It's so important,
rather than hate it, fight it, reject it. Yes. And many people say, we're going to fight this cancer, we're going to beat it, and have this combative. Already they're setting up for a lot of exertion. They're setting up for something really difficult to do.
Exactly.
And just like the war on drugs, we've been fighting it for 40 years now, and it's the worst drug epidemic ever, because you don't fight force with force.
That's right. The other thing too is that the universe mirrors our thoughts. Okay, the universe is just a mirror to our thoughts. So if we're thinking negative thoughts, if we're thinking negativity, if we think, oh, I'm having such a bad day, oh, I feel like crap, oh, I feel blah, 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 that's what's going to happen. It's just, it goes right back into ourselves. It's like we're mirroring ourselves. The universe doesn't know better. So whatever we think, the universe listens and gives us back what we're thinking. So if we say to the universe, oh, my brain is healing, my brain is healing, my brain's going to heal. And as a matter of fact, with all of that beautifulness that I fed my brain through the whole process of healing, it healed triple. It healed way better. I'm much more profound than I was before. I'm much clearer. My eyesight got better. My vision, my glasses, I don't have the same, it's much less than it was before, which I couldn't believe it when I went to this.
It's like it was the universe hit you on the head so you can get better.
Exactly. Hit me on the head. And I'm much more evolved now as well. So I'm even more intuitive and more evolved than I was before.
Yeah, you said your psychic abilities went on another higher level.
Higher level, yeah, absolutely, without question. And even more so now. Like, at the beginning of the healing, it was one thing, but now it's a year and a half later, and I'm even more evolved and more evolved. It's amazing. It keeps getting better and better. It's kind of like, you can break a bone in your body. I once broke my knee, and the knee that I broke is stronger now than it was before. Oh. Sometimes when you heal something, it can be even better than it was before.
Yeah.
So yeah.
It feels like God gave you this bump on the head because for a much higher reason. And if we're very impatient and we're like, why me, God, and why now? And it's for look now, your gifts have expanded tremendously.
My gifts have expanded. And also, another thing that's really, really crucial is that, you know what? I was really running around like crazy, and I needed to calm down. And it forced me to calm down. And it forced me to really take a good look at my life and take a good look at my whole, what I need, what I want. When we're in this fury of running around and activity, oh, that's fun. Oh, that's great. Okay, let's do this. Let's do that. But we don't really sit down and think about what our purpose is, what our mission is. It gave me such a chance to really understand why I'm here. Like for instance, Lada, what do you think your purpose is? What is your purpose? Do you ever think about what your purpose is in life? Your full purpose, your whole person.
I know to give the best gifts that you have, to do the best with what you have.
Good answer. Excellent answer. That's right. That's right. But people don't always think that way. They don't. I mean, for me, it's to just, inspire people to be the best that they can be, to give magic to people, to be hopeful, to make people feel hopeful, and to make people feel the best that they can be, because there are ways to do that. There's so many people that are depressed, or they just don't know how to get out of their funk. And I can have that ability to help them to get out of their funk. And so can you. But that's a beautiful answer that you said. So we all have a purpose in life. You know, some people have the purpose of being a magnificent musician, or a magnificent writer, or a magnificent artist, or they're, you know, left brain, so they're a financial wizard, or, you know, whatever it is. But there's so many people that don't know what their purpose is and don't know what their mission is. And in order to find it, you have to go inward. And you have to take some time to really be silent and listen to your soul, which is the answer to questions.
Many times when the big financial collapse happened, many people in the big money business were fired, and they got the downtime to figure out what their true purpose is. Some became gardeners, others opened the flower shops, and never went back to the finance world. So you need, the universe can bring some crisis in your life, like you said, to slow you down so you can look within.
Yes. And also,
I think this year has this energy as well, slowing us down so we can get in touch with our needs.
So that was my next, you said it. That was exactly, we're like, you know, that was my exact next thought. And that's what I was going to talk about next, exactly. So, you know, we're talking about how we need to slow down. We have to sort of recognize our needs and our mission and our passion in life and so on. And that's what this year is also going to bring a lot of us, which is really, really important. Because when you don't know who you are and what you are, it really can affect you and then spiral into other things, among them disease, among them, you know, unhealthy situations. So this is a year of opening us up into being healthier, into learning more about who we are, into going more inward, into being more mindful, into our hearts, into our souls, and not so much our head.
Yeah. Because interesting, you say mindfulness is not in the head. It's being present with your body almost.
Yes. Mindfulness is very important right now. So all of these things are starting to happen this year. I mean, they've been happening in years before, but it's going to be even more recognized this year. People who are, you know, even people who are never like that, people who are not spiritual, and people who are not at all interested in that kind of in esoteric things, are going to become more interested in the angelic realm, or in the Bible, or in horoscopes, astrology.
Oh, fantastic. It's also the number 11. It's reduced to the number 2. It's feminine energy, but it's a master number 11, 2018,
yes.
which is a spiritual number, a spiritual manifestation number. One of the most powerful.
You said it to that 2
Like a preparation for 2020 is a master number 22, and that is a super powerful master number. So I think
my birthday number. Wow.
Oh, okay. 22.
Yeah, 22.
More powerful manifestation on spiritual level. So that will be some gate opening this 2020.
Wow, that's incredible. So it's becoming more and more and more. So I think what's going to happen is the vibration is going to go even higher. So along with all of the, like what you said, the spiritual number 11, which is what this year is. And then what were you saying? You were saying for 2020, 2019 and 20.
It's reduced to 4, but before that it's a master number 22.
Yes.
And usually master numbers have a much higher vibration just of a simple 4.
Yes, and the other thing too, which now we're going to go into as well, is I think the number 2 also represents relationships.
Yes. And we're currently number 2 reduced, but from a spiritual master numbers, I think,
yeah,
even in a more powerful way.
So that's very interesting too. So I think also this year, the emphasis is going to be on relationships. And it doesn't necessarily have to be relationships man and woman, like marriage, or of course it can be that too. You know, people that are single can meet their soulmate, or people that are married can have better marriages. You know, if there's always little glitches here and there. No relationship is perfect, right? But we can have also relationships between women, like best friends, or people who might have had an argument and come back together, or relationships in business, like you and me. We have such a great, you know, camaraderie together.
Yeah. Collaborations.
And collaboration and everything. And just relationships all around this year are going to be much better, much easier, much more focused on positivity. It's going to be a really nice year. It's going to be a much quieter year too. It's going to be a much calmer year for everybody.
I hope so. We need it after the
After that crazy. Yeah, and the thing is, because the year just started, we're not feeling it quite yet. But as the year progresses, you know, like I say, by spring, you know, spring, like May, around May, April, May, that's when we're going to start to feel it more. And then in the summer, it's going to be even more. And then by the fall, it's going to be even higher. And it's just going to be really, really lovely. It's going to be a very beautiful year compared to last year, a whole different scenario. So we've discussed sort of the generalness of the year. We've discussed relationships. We've discussed health. And basically that's pretty much.
Yes, it's a very positive message that we gave. Thank you so much, Bobbi.
Yes.
And basically setting the whole period, the whole intention.
Yes, setting the pace for the year, setting the pace for the year. So basically, you know, I just want people to know that it's okay to really feel whatever you feel. It's okay to really just, you know, salute yourself and allow yourself to be who you are, and allow yourself to really see who you are, and allow yourself to take time to just enjoy your time. Just enjoy whatever time you can. Some people don't have a lot of time to enjoy, but even in your time where you have for yourself, take some time for stillness and take some time for just quietness, because that's so enjoyable this year. And it's not going to be about the mind. Like sometimes when people are still, their minds go and they can't relax. But because of the vibrations and the energies of the year, and because of the angelic realm helping us, we're going to be able to relax more, just generally.
That never stop and tap into more meditative states.
Yeah, you have to be hit on the head to
well. Aren't you feeling as a psychic that this increase of the number 11 is so psychic that it gives the most powerful psychic intuitions?
There's no question. So people who are in this field, like myself and like yourself and numerologists and people who are in this field are going to soar, because all the people in the world are going to become much more interested in the psychic realm this year. People who are, you know, in whatever kind of jobs they're in, they're going to want to know much more about not just where they're going as far as their jobs or their families, but about themselves and about, you know, what is their purpose? What is their mission? What direction should they go? What do they want out of life? All of these different things. Because a lot of them,
and actually when a client approaches you with skepticism, I get blocked. It's like something falls in front of me. Even if they don't say they're skeptical, you feel it, something falls in front of me and I can't help them. When person comes to me with open heart, and hopefully this 2011 will make people much more willing to open themselves to such topics. It's like divine connection happens and it starts flowing, and I say things that, you know, I would never have seen or depending. So the state of mind of a person, a client also approaching you, a person coming for help is so important for them to receive the best information as well.
Very, very important. I don't have that problem. In fact, if somebody, and there are lots of people who are very skeptic about readings at the beginning, they're not sure, you know, like I've had a few clients over the last 2 weeks that came to me for the first time, because I have a lot of repeat clients that come back all the time. But I've had some new clients who are a little bit skeptical, so they'll do a 10-minute reading just to sort of step in and just step into the ocean just to see how it feels. And then we do the reading, and you know, they're very blocked, they're very skeptic, but I have a way of being able to just say, hey, this is how it is. This is what's going to be for you. Don't worry about it. let it go, let go, let God. Just chill. And they say, wow, okay, I'm calling you back. Because what happens, they'll ask a question and then I give the answer. And I always do the same question twice for confirmation. And then I use the tarot cards, and then I do the angel cards. And that's more confirmation. And it's incredible how the same cards come up. And what happens is the reading becomes a theme. So it becomes a theme on whatever is supposed to be for the person. It's just God-given. So it becomes a theme of either love or work, career, or health, or whatever it is for that person. It's incredible how it all
only work with cards, because I remember when we had readings, you get names and letters and visuals as well. And
I start with cards, but I always, I will never do a reading without seeing the person, because I go into their energy and I go into the people around them's energy. I can go into the husband's energy. I can go into the children of the people's energy, all of that. And so it's crucial for me to see the person. That's why I always do Skype readings or FaceTime or Messenger or whatever it is if they don't have a computer with Skype. But I will not do a reading that's just without seeing the person. And also because I want to give the best reading possible. So to give the best reading for myself is seeing the person. Otherwise, it's just not the same. It doesn't have the same feeling and vibration for me. So I want to give my best. And in order to give my best, I have to see the person. And then it just all flows and comes out. And yes, I get names, I get numbers, I get feelings. I hear auditory messages from God, from heaven. And I get repeat messages as well. And so it just all flows. It just all flows. It just all comes together every time. And it's almost, for me, I can't tell you, it's really my dharma, because I love doing my readings. And so what happens is it's almost like I'm on stage. I become alive. And
that's how you know this is your mission. When after you do something, you don't feel exhausted, but you feel recharged. And that's one way to find out what your purpose and mission is. The feeling it leaves you with, it energizes you more than exhausts you.
Yeah, no question.
Doing readings face to face, I feel the opposite. I feel drained. But doing them recorded and doing lectures and teaching, this is when I feel energized. So you can even fine tune within your career what is the things you have to do by this feeling that it leaves you.
Exactly. That's so true. That's so true. I mean, we all have different ways and different, we all have different ways of how we do things and what works for us. It's all about what works for us, really, isn't it? So
you love it. You're like, I love my client. I can't wait to have this reading. I'm so excited.
I love reading, and I love helping people and inspiring people, and I love to help them and to give advice and consultation. Sometimes I'm like a priest or a priestess, but yeah, Rabbi Bobby, priest Bobby, whatever. But it's true, or preacher Bobby, But I have to do it. If I have to give them advice, then I've got to give them advice, and they listen and they say, wow. And all of a sudden a thing goes off in their head and they're like, you're right. Like if I see something that they're doing wrong, or I see something that they're withholding, or, I'll tell them. I'm not afraid to say anything. And people are sometimes afraid of hearing bad things. There's no such thing as hearing a bad thing. There's no such thing. Even if there's a death, if a death is imminent, then it's imminent, but death is not dead. When death takes place, a person transcends to another level, but they're still with us. They're still around us. We just can't see them. We just can't see them, but we can feel them. And there are ways that we can learn to feel them or to know that they're with us. There's all kinds of ways. That's a whole other.
I've even heard people say that they feel more connected to someone who passed than while they were alive. Because
that happens very often.
Much closer then.
Yeah, so the reason for that is because what happens is when a person passes over, the first thing that happens is they go through a tunnel and they're met by all their deceased loved ones. And then they have a life review. Everybody, all of us. So we have what's called a life review. And before we're born, we make an unconscious contract with God. And our whole life really is destined for us. So we have choice, but we also have destiny. So what happens is you make this unconscious destiny with God, And then you go into the world and you become an earthling and you're on the earth. And then you die and you go back to heaven. And then you have a review of your life, of where you went wrong and where you went right. So if you have had certain relationships with people, say a father and a son that didn't get along, and the father wasn't nice to the son through the whole life, and then he dies and he goes to heaven and he sees in the review of his life what he did and how he acted, and everything gets completely undone in heaven. So what happens is the energy changes completely, and it's all love. And I know it sounds a little corny, but it's true. So what happens is the deceased person sees what they did with the son, the deceased father sees what he did with the son, and he's so forgiving, and he's so sorry, and he wants to reach his son, and he wants to tell his son, I love you so much, I'm here with you, I'm going to help you, now I'm your angel, I'm going to walk with you. This is really what happens.
Mm-hmm. And that's why people start thinking, why wasn't I apologize when they were alive? Why wasn't I in touch? Because their heart also softens. They feel the softer energy coming from that soul.
That's why it's it really, really is important in life to really be as nice as you can be. Because you have one life and it goes like that. It goes in a flash. It shifts, boom, very fast. The older we get, the faster it goes, really. So it's so important to grasp life and just, and know that life is full of ups and downs. Life is full of problems, and we just have to go with it. We just have to kind of like a dance. It's like a dance. Sometimes when you're dancing, you can fall on your foot, you can twist your leg, you can, stumble on the step, or you can gracefully dance around. And life is like that. Life is different cycles. Life is different. There's 4 things in life that are consistent. You know what those 4 things are? Birth, death, change, and evolution. That's it. Birth, death, change, and evolution. Always. For everything.
It's all about change to me, it sounds. It all sounds like
change. Especially now. There's more change than ever for all of us. More change than ever. And it's hard. It's hard because we have to grasp. There's so much change. There's so much new technology. And there's so much newness in life, just about how, we think. And there's just so much change. You're right. And it's hard.
It's sped up. And they're saying that now a person lives, one's incarnation now is equal to almost 10 before, because now we can go through 5 marriages and divorces, 10 jobs. And back in the past, 200-300 years, you get born in the same village, you do what your dad did, and you have the same spouse. And now now the karma, the consequences of our actions come back so much faster. Before,
very true.
It might take another life for you to see the results. Now,
that's called very quick evolution.
Yeah.
Evolution. But you see, what's going to happen is down the road, that's going to start to slow down, and things are going to start to go back to as they were.
Oh, that's
yes. Things are going. You're going to see.
Once we've learned the lessons, I guess.
Yes. Once once the world has learned its lessons, once Earth has learned its lessons, which is a massive sort of collective thing. It's all about us individually, but it's also about the massive collectiveness of the world. And, with all of the crap going on now with the government and ISIS and the weather changes and all of this global warming or colding. I mean, it's like the Arctic freeze here where I live. My God, we've never had such a bad winter. It's snowing and it's freezing and it's awful.
I heard it's -60 or something.
Yeah, it's really bad. Really, really, really bad. But it is what it is, So we all have to adapt to all of these things. But things are going to start to eventually go a little bit better in terms of quieter, softer, calmer. It starts this year and it's going to go more. It's going to go more. It's going to go more. I don't know about the environmental change, though. That's a little scary, with all the earthquakes and with all the fires in California and this kind of thing. I don't know how long that's going to continue, but there's got to be a stop to it at some point. There's got to be a stop to it at some point. And then they talk about, Christ's resurrection and Christ coming back and all of this. This I'm not quite sure about, but I feel that over the next several years, things are going to start to quiet down, and there's going to be a instead of revolution, there's going to be a much quieter, lighter, more peaceful energy in the world.
We need that for certain.
Really do that,
We've
yeah.
been on the roller coaster for a few years now.
Yeah. I mean, we're due for it. We're definitely due for it.
Yeah.
So, you know, but it's a matter of people being able to understand and really get that energy, which is something that is going to come. It's just a matter of time. That's how I feel about it.
On that positive note.
The other thing too that's very interesting that I wanted to say is that because the energy and the vibration of the earth is changing and coming into a much higher octave, this is why people are going to become much more interested in psychic readings and astrological readings and all of this. The babies that are being born this year are babies of light. The babies being born this year are more evolved than they were years ago. The babies being born this year are going to be much more esoteric and spiritual and enlivened and just softer than babies from before. You watch. You're going to see.
Robert Phoenix talks about, since Pluto is in Capricorn in the last 10 years, Capricorn rules all things, and he says many old souls are coming in incarnation with Pluto and Capricorn, and he says you see children now becoming CEOs and making companies from the age of 10 and having a structure about the future and the vision as a leadership, because Capricorn is all those things, bringing ancient knowledge that is revived, that is forgotten from ancient civilization.
Oh, interesting. And stuff.
The Capricorn generation, he says.
Wow, that's amazing. That's so true. That's very, very true. Yes, I totally agree with him. Totally agree with him. Yes.
Perfect. Well, Bobbi, thank you so much for taking time from your day, and
wonderful. It was a wonderful
great time there. I know how your internet is not frozen in Montreal.
No, this time was really very, see, just from this, look at that. It was very flowy.
Yes.
Don't have any trouble with the computer. Don't have any trouble with stop and go. It was all lovely. So we can do this again.
And I think you offer that you can, this week, everyone who orders from today for another week, which is, it gets 5 minutes free with Bobbi on top of what they order. So this is from the 8th of January till the, what would that be, till the 14th?
Till the 14th.
Till the 14th.
100%. Yes.
So thank you so much, Bobbi. Hope you can
thank you so much
to our female audience this year and lead them to find their meaning and purpose. Absolutely. Thank you for your insights and positivity. You really uplifted me. I was also feeling down before that.
Oh, thank you so much. That's so sweet. God bless you.
Have a great day. Bye-bye. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in.
Bye-bye. Thank you. Bye.